Hi there, Erica from Feel Your Core here. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be doing a functional fitness workout. We're going to start with a nice warm up, get into the actual exercises, then cool you down. As always, if you enjoy what we do here, please like and subscribe and share with a friend. So first warm-up exercise is going to be arm circles. I'm actually going to start with a little bit of a shoulder circle. So hands hanging down, I'm going to lift my shoulders, pull them together, draw them down. So just nice and easy here. I'm doing the shoulder circles first just to get a little bit warm before I go right into my arm circles. And then now I'm going to take them back and around. Breathing as I go, inhale, up and around. I'll go one more here, and then I'll go the other way with the shoulder circles. It's getting those like scapula circles first, moving them around, and then taking that into the bigger arm circle, up and around, breathing, trying to get the body nice and warm for the work that we're about to do. Loosening everything up, warming everything up, feeling nice length through my movements. A few more here. All right, then from here, we're gonna go into toy soldiers. All right, so we're gonna warm up the lower half. So we're just reaching those legs forward, opposite arm, opposite leg, as if we were marching, okay? Reaching the arm out long, reaching the leg out long. You know, you can go as slow or as fast as you want. Again, we're trying to work into the warm up, trying to work into getting the body nice and warm. I do like to think about using my abs to pull that leg up as I lift the leg so that I can feel more kind of core warmth, not just through the front of the leg or the psoas. And just using the arms with it again allows the arms to be moving, starts to get the blood flowing as we go. So from these toy soldiers, we'll take it right into torso twist. So I'm going to take my legs about hip distance apart, and then I'm going to start rotating the torso, and you'll also see my hips move as well. I'm going to let the arms swing with this. So again, getting a lot of movement now through the body as I rotate. I'm going to go ahead and let my gaze go with me so you can see how I kind of start slow and then start incorporating more of the body as I start to move, as I start to feel warm, trying to warm these hips up as I rotate through the pelvis, through the torso, getting a little bit of rotation in. Again, this is a functional fitness workout, so exercise that are going to mimic daily activities, right? So think about when we have to look over our shoulder into that blind spot. If we twist to hand somebody something, that's the idea here. We'll do a few more here. And then we'll take these torso twists. I'll end here into what I call zigzag arms with a side bend. So we'll take the arms up in goalpost, and then we'll just rotate one of them down. And then from here, I'll reach over, side bend, pull myself up to center, go back to that goalpost, let the other arm rotate down, and then side bend the other way. And bring it up, goalpost, rotate the other arm down, and side bend. So you're thinking about really reaching through both of these arms, feeling the stretch to the side, feeling the stability on the other obliques, using those obliques to pull me up, back to goalpost, switch the rotation, and then side bend on the other side. Inhale, expand my ribs. Exhale, feel that stability as they come back up to center. Rotate the other side down, and off we go. Pull myself up. Last time this way. Nice big inhale, filling up the sides, separating the ribs, and then coming back up. And that's your warm up. We'll grab our weights to get close to us, our band, our kettlebell, and we'll get going into the main workout. Let's go. All right, we are back. We have our weights ready. We're nice and warmed up. I'm gonna just back up just a bit right here. And we're gonna start our first exercise, which is a squat, curl, and press. So the legs are open to about hip bone width apart. That's for me. You can definitely take them wider if you wish. All right, so outside edges of the feet, about hip bone distance apart. And here we go. We're gonna squat down. As we come up, we curl and then we press overhead. So we wanna think about that curl is happening as we're coming up. It's a hammer curl. So those palms are facing each other. This is 4. We're going to do about 15 today. Sounds good. What do you think? And here's 5. Curl and press overhead. I'm inhaling down, exhaling to come up. That was 6. And down, curl and press. Thinking about sitting my bottom back as I sit down and squat, and then sending my pelvis forward as I lift. That's 9. Here we go. Last few. 10. Last 5. 5. And 4. 3. 2. And final 1, overhead. We'll take these down, set them aside, start on our next exercise. So next up, we have a band row. So I've already attached my band. It's a little higher than my shoulders. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to take these bands, make sure my handles are even. And then I'm going to have like that nice hip width stance with my legs apart. And I'm rowing. So I want to think about keeping my head stacked over my neck, neck over shoulders, shoulders over ribs, ribs over pelvis, and the pelvis right over my legs. As usual, when I'm rowing, I'm not thinking about pulling my shoulder blades together. I'm thinking about pulling my elbows back and kind of wrapping them around my body. I believe this one's 9. Exhaling, drawing abs into pull. Here's our last 5. You can hear me exhale as I row. 3 and 2. Exhale, abs in, and 1. I'll just squeeze it for a moment. Slowly release that band. Nice work. So next, we're going to move on to a kettlebell swing. So I'm going to slide over, grab my kettlebell. So for this one, my legs will be a little bit wider apart, okay? A little bit wider than my hip bone distance. And remember with the kettlebell, the actual weight of the bell and the way that it is, manufactured, it's a pendulum action. So it's actually my hips that bring it up. We're not going to go any higher than the shoulder width or the shoulder height. And then I'm going to let the weight of the bell bring me down so that my hips can propel me back forward. Okay, I'll do a few to the front and a few to the side. Here we go. So I'll start hinge, nice flat back, and then hips bring me up. Exhaling, drawing abs in, really using the hip thrust to bring me up. I think we're right about 7 and 8. So I'm going to go ahead and turn to the side so you can see me from the side. Again, hip hinge, flat back. I'm going to let this bell swing, and then my hips bring me up. That hips. So I'm thinking about opening my hip crease, not kind of slamming into my lumbar spine. I really feel my glutes here. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then let that stop slowly. I'll put this away, and we're on to a band chest press. All right, so my band is already here. It's already set up. Again, a little bit higher than my shoulder. I'll take the handles, stand between them, make sure they feel even. I'll step out until I already start to feel the tension in the rest position. And then I'm going to inhale, exhale, press. So the way I kind of program this workout, you can tell the last exercise, that kettlebell swing, was a bit more cardio focused. It really got my heart rate up. And so now we can focus on the breath and maybe slow it down just a bit. Harder for me because I'm talking, but that's the idea. Kind of more high intensity, and then bringing it down a little. Heart rate should stay up. It is a strength exercise. And let's call this 7, 8. Inhale, exhale, press. Making sure my mind is on my pecs so that I can feel them work, right? The pecs are your chest muscles. Good, let's go 3 more here. 3, and 2, and 1. Nice job. We'll take these down. We'll move on to the next exercise. I'll need weights again. We're gonna, actually, no weights. I'm gonna do a lunge with rotation. So you can most definitely add weights here if you wish. I'm not going to, just so that you can see, you don't have to. And because I want you more focused on the form of this exercise, as opposed to being like, okay, where do my weights go? Where do my hands go? I'm going to just keep my hands probably right here in the center. I'm going to do the outside of the feet, about hip bone distance apart. I'm going to step back into my lunge, and then I'm going to lunge down. So bending both knees, and then I'm going to rotate to the side of the leg that's out. Step forward, step back, and rotate. I'm going to step back a little bit just to make sure I stay in the frame for you. Back, lower down, rotate. So another thing that I'm thinking about is that when I rotate, I'm going to exhale and really move my ribs around. Okay, so not just the head or neck, really start that movement from my ribs. Exhale and up. Rotate and forward. And this leg goes back now. Sometimes I lose track, which is a nice thing about having a teacher or an instructor, because you can just follow them and they can do all the counting and stuff for you, right? All right, let's do 2 more each side. Rotate. Another thing I'm thinking about as I rotate is bringing both of my legs towards my center. Otherwise, I tend to rock out on the outside edges of the feet, and we want to use that whole foot. So again, another reason when you're starting to do this, forget about the weights. Think about the form, think about the breath, think about the muscles that you're working. All right, so now we're on to our last exercise, and that is going to be a dumbbell lateral raise. So let's grab those weights. All right, so I have my weights. I think I'm going to go ahead and do like a little bit of a split stance here. So still outside edges of feet, hip width distance apart. I'm going to step one of those legs back. Soft bend in both legs. I like to call this an active, ready position. All right, so things are engaged. We're not locking out either leg. And from here, I'm going to inhale to prepare and exhale, raise and lower. Inhale, exhale, raise. And again, I talk about this a lot, right? Breath with movement. Because if you use your breath, that'll kind of give you a natural tempo if you're thinking about like up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, or even like up, 2, and down, 2. If you flow with your breath and you aren't hyperventilating, then you can know that you're doing a really good tempo, right? You're not like jamming them up and then just letting them fall. We're not letting them fall. We're working on both sides of this movement. Very good. Let's do 6 more. 6 and 5. Thinking about reaching these fists out towards the wall as I lift them. Last 2. So lengthen my arms and shoulders as I lift. And that is it. So wonderful job today. Always remember you can rewind back to the very first exercise and just do this as many times as you want. I'd suggest 2 or 3 if you want to do more, 2 or 3 sets, but just doing 1 is enough, especially if you're just beginning. Just move and, thank your body and thank yourself for, having the determination and the will and desire to move your body today to see how you feel. I'm betting you will feel better. All right, so move and breathe and smile. And thank you for joining us. I am going to lead you through a short cool down after this. But again, if you want to rewind and do this again, feel free, or else meet me in the cool down. Thanks. All right. Now that you have finished your workout, however many sets you decided to do, let's go ahead and go into our cool down together. So the first exercise we'll do is a child's pose. All right. So each of these cool down activities, I'm going to probably do for about 3 nice deep breaths. Okay. So we'll get this way. I'm going to take my legs a little farther apart, kind of trying to figure out how far I want my arms forward. And then I'm going to sit my hips back. So these are active lengthening cool down work. You know me, I don't like to call it stretching. I like to call it active lengthening. So to do that, I'm going to take my palms of my hands and I'm going to really press them and reach them forward as I reach my tailbone back. I'm going to inhale, and then every time I exhale, see if I can just melt into the stretch a little bit more. So inhale, and then exhale, pressing the palms in one direction, reaching my tail in the other. One more time. Big inhale. And exhale, reaching my tail back. And then actively, I will pull myself forward into a quadruped position. Okay, so that's going to be hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And I'm going to do a little cat-cow. So I'm going to inhale to prepare. And then as I exhale, I'm going to scoop my belly in and round my back. So I'm sending the crown of my head towards my tail and the tail towards my crown. Inhale. I'm just going to reverse that. So now I look like I have an arched back, pulling my chest across the floor, pulling my chest up the wall in front of me into a back bend. That's on the inhale. Exhale, I'm going to scoop my belly in and up to round my spine, really using my abdominals as a big helper to round through my spine. And then inhale to go into extension or into that back bend. Again, reaching my chest forward and up the wall in front of me. Let's go one more time. Exhale to round. And inhale, pulling the chest across the floor, up the wall in front of me. My neck and head follow for that little back bend extension. All right, so from our cat-cow, we're gonna go into some hamstring lengthening. So I'll sit on my bottom, reach my legs out in front of me, and it's up to you. You can have the legs straight out in front of you. You can have them slightly open. You can even have them slightly bent. I actually like them a little bit bent because I feel it gets into the muscle belly of my hamstring a little bit better. And then what I'll just start to do is start to walk my arms forward. And in this one for me, I'm going to go ahead and round my back because I'm thinking about being in this kind of C curve, head to tail piece again, reaching my tail towards my heels, reaching the crown of head towards my toes. And then I'm going to give a little bit of activation to my quads, which will help my hamstrings lengthen. Okay, so there's that active flexibility, right? That active lengthening. So I'm not just passively hanging out here. I'm activating one side to activating one side to lengthen the other. So 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale, finding a little bit more length. Inhale, exhale, finding just a bit more length. And one more time. And exhale for my final length. Good. So again, I'm not like squeezing my quads or anything, but I'm giving them a little bit of activation to help lengthen the backs of my thighs, my hamstrings. Okay. And then the final one we're going to do is called a couch stretch. So if you have like a couch, you can just put your back foot up against a couch. I have these little stall bars, so I'm going to just put my toe on top of one. And it's nice because I can hold on as I get situated. So this other leg is going to come out in front of me. So you want to think 90 degrees with this front knee. And then you really want the knee of the leg that's back just to be lined up right underneath the hip. Okay. So again, in this active lengthening piece, I'm going to activate my glute to send me into hip extension. And I'm going to feel this amazing stretch through my quad. And I feel it all the way through my quad. I feel it up into the front of my hip. I even feel some of it into my abdominals. And you can just place your hands right here. If you need to keep your hands like on a chair or a couch or whatever you have back here, you can totally do it. But if your foot's like up against the wall, you can put your hands right here. Okay. So right now, this couch stretch, what I'm looking for is this nice lengthening through my quad since I worked it so hard in some of the exercises today. So I'm not thinking about lunging through this front foot. If you need more, you probably just need to scoot this long leg back a little bit. Okay, let's do 2 more breaths here because we've been holding it for a while. Inhale, exhale, find that lengthening. Again, inhale, I'll activate glute a bit so I can again feel that nice lengthening through the front of my thigh. And then we're going to carefully come out of that. Okay, so nice and slowly, however you need to. All right, I'm going to move myself a little bit forward. And then I'm just going to switch legs. So this one's going back. I'm going to go ahead and put this one up. Actually, I think I want to hook this in first and get it back. And then I'm going to use my little bars to help me get this like forward. So again, the leg that's forward, it's in a 90-degree angle. And then I'm trying to get this knee, the long leg, underneath my hip. Inhale, exhale, activate that glute a bit so that I can feel the stretch through the front of my quad, that front thigh muscle. And again, all the way, I feel it all the way up in my hip and into my abdominals. I always like to say stretching is very personal, right? So even though I may feel it somewhere, you may feel it somewhere else, and that's okay. Inhale and exhale. Again, activate that glute a little bit for that hip extension. And one final one, inhale and exhale. And that is it for today. So again, reiterating, good job. Thank yourself for moving, express gratitude that you're able to move in whatever range of motion you were able to do today, whether you used weights or you didn't. Thank you for taking time out today to love yourself and care for yourself and make yourself a little bit better. All right. And hopefully you'll join us next time. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe if you like what we do and share with a friend. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.